Okay, so welcome back again. After 40 minutes, it gets disconnected. I'm sorry. I can see here only 18 participants. Others kindly join who were there before. So finally, once the product has been generated, so it will be bifurcated how the sales of the product is running successfully, how the purchasing of the product has been carried out. So it speaks about the sales and profit and the manufacturing view. It provides the entire description, how the parts were manufactured using which operations, where it was assembled, sub-assemblies, everything related to manufacturing will be picturized here. Design view of that product will be picturized here, and serviceability, in which areas the service sectors, the service stations are there, will be dealt. Okay, so this is about the entire process data diagram about our product structuring, product structure modeling. So it is an interrelationship between the process model and the product structure. So this can work successfully when you have an data model in hand, what we have studied right away. So this was related to the product data model and mapping of the process model of a product with a product structural matrix. So then the new term what you have next in your fifth module is product configuration. So what do you mean by product configuration? So it is an activity of customizing a product to meet the needs of a customer, because you usually configure a product based on the need of the customer. For example, if you want to purchase a laptop or a system, you check for your requirements. What is the configuration of the system you need? Suppose you want to run high level analysis softwares, so you need the configuration at the highest level. Then you go and customize, this is our requirement, as per this I need a laptop or a PC. So that is the requirement of a customer. So based on the requirement of the customer, the system will be configured for you all. Similarly, the same meaning stands even in product configuration. So every configuration of the product will be decided and implemented based on the need for that particular product. So this is the definition for what you mean by product configuration. So here configurators are used basically to guide the user through the product definition process and serve as an important tool for choice navigation. Right? So what do you understand from this? So here the configurators which are used in a product are used mainly based on the product definition. So product definition will be defined based on the needs of our customer. So based on the product definition, the process will be defined and the tools which are needed to carry out that process will be defined, and you will select the navigation is nothing but the synthesis route which you are going to follow to achieve the process, so that the product definition will be successful. So once the product definition is successful, then it is meeting the customer requirement. So then it shows that the configurations which were designed are successfully achieved. So no matter what kind of product you make, every time So no matter how product you are designing based on the customer needs, every time the demand of the customer changes. So once the demand of the customer changes, always you have to configure the product periodically so that it meets the demand. It means you are updating your product as per the requirement of the customer periodically. Then only you can sustain in the market. Okay, so this is why product configuration is very essential. So to meet this demand, you must be able to effectively manage product configuration. So if you're successful in this, your product will be in the market for a longer period of time. So product configuration plays a vital role in any of the product. Even you can take an example of your cell phone. How many updates you get, how many versions you get as per the requirement of the customers, or else it will come to a decline stage, right? And a new version or a new type of mobile comes into picture. So in order to be in the market, it has to be updated frequently, and different versions and different models of a particular mobile has to come out. Then only it can sustain in the market. This is the way where the product configuration plays a vital role. Okay, so in reality, yeah, fine. So this has often been thought as a design problem. So when there is a major change, you have to make some major changes in the design. So they say that product configuration matching is difficult. Again, it has to tackle with the existing design. But the reality is that decisions are made about what product variants you offer long before a designer begins his work. So before the designer may designs his work, all the possible variants which can come in future should be in his mind and thought, so that the existing design could be embedded with more variants positively to accept the modifications and to configure the product in future as per the requirement. So the basic design which is done on the product should be an basic parental design, so which can embed the extra designs into it. Then only that design will be successful. So if the designer thinks all these concepts in the beginning before he designs, then that could be configured for any versions in future. And if that is not done, then it will be a problem. You cannot use the existing design of the product, and then it has to be redesigned again. Okay, so this is what it has to tell related to the product configuration. So the last one is the implication of these design impact people across the product life cycle. I told you already. So if you implement this product configuration, keep yourself updated with the updated versions of your product. It obviously affects the life cycle because it helps in improving your life cycle. It helps in life cycle of the product. It helps in improving the profit level what you are achieving, the saturation level, right? So it will last for a longer run where you will enjoy a consistent profit for a longer period of time. And even the decline phase of the product comes very late because you are updating the product. Until and unless you are updating the product by modifying the configuration, you will enjoy the market with good profit. So the decline stage will not come until and unless you are updating the product configuration, and hence obviously it directly affects the product life cycle. Next is, with product configuration in PLM, you can meet the demand for more advanced and varied product offerings without driving up cost. So I told you, if you are not updating the product, it gets decline stage, and again to rebuild a new product, you would need a huge amount of cost. If you are able to upgrade the configuration within the existing model, then the amount of cost required is very less and negligible. That's what it's been telling here. And then leverage the product configuration backbone to provide a common definition of variability across the life cycle. The product configuration backbone should be designed in such a way that it provides a common definition for a product with respect to all the variables which could be coming across the entire life cycle. So well, a good experienced manufacturer, a product designer, a project manager, if they sit together, they can identify all the variables which can come in near future when the product is in the market. So based on that, if they are able to provide a common definition for a product successfully, so that helps the designer to design the basic design with the thought of all the variants which could be added as extra embedded designs in the near future. So it is very essential to provide a common definition with a thought of variability which will come into the product so that the life cycle of the product goes on successfully. And lastly, you have to take control of your product configuration. You cannot leave that without any constraints. You do any updation, any configuration, everything should be bounded to certain rules and norms. Then only the thing goes on systematically, right? If it is not bounded with some constraints and some boundaries, it will run wherever it wants to. So that will not yield in a better result. Always it should be in a constrained manner. So here also, whether you deliver products with a defined set of support variants, more complex products with an exponential number of possible variations and combinations have to be set forward. What do you mean by this? Or else the engineer who order the products require the new variants of parts and design with every order. So what did you understand? So the product which is delivered into a market will be having a defined set of variants, and these are all the positive variants in it. And since it is having all positive variants and designing a data model is a complex one initially, so it will be having the complex products associated with different variants successfully into the market. But it varies exponentially and not linearly with respect to the variations, because there will be n number of variations and n number of combinations you will achieve it. And so there will be boundaries and limitations, which is the complex level the customer needs. So based on the complexity level, based on the needs, sometimes the need of the customer might be simple. So there is no need of defining a complex design layout for it with more variants. It could be designed simple with less number of variants. Every product is not needed to have more than one functional requirement, because if the customer need is too less, so then the complexity level also will be less. So when the need of the customer increases, when he needs more functional capabilities in a single product, then n number of variants also increases in different levels of the structures, basic structure, organ structure, physical structure, and functional structure. So due to this, the complexity of building the product also increases. So depending upon the needs, depending upon the definition of the product, all these gets varied. So this was in-depth explanation regarding to the product configuration. So in simple, for a layman, you can just define a product configurator who does this work is a computer program that helps the user specify a product by allowing to choose from all available options. So in order to do this product configuration, you will be associated with an product configurator who access the program in the computer to choose which is been needed for that particular product based on the available options. Okay, so the available options already will be stored in the data model as per the description we did. So from that, a product configurator will click the available options which are in need for that particular product as per the requirement of the customer, and then he will configure it. It is not necessary that he has to go to the market, survey, ask the need, and then configure. No, everything will be generated in the data model by the survey of the entire picture, right from the beginning to the end, right? So he will just access the data from the data model. So the product can vary from a simple product with few options to a complex multi-part product, as I explained you in the last sentence here. So by using a configurator, or a complex product can be formalized into simple, because it just understand the system, how it works, all the data will be associated. So he will select the data, the color, size, position, accessories, what are in need to it, and specify. So usually the output will be a visualization. It could be pictures or animation. It could be the entire description of how the product should be. It could be a list of parts which are needed as per the configuration of the product, or it could be the codes which has to be generated to modify the configuration of a particular product. And it could be also in the form of price, what will be the output based on the configuration done, because whenever you're modifying the product, you cannot sell the product for the same price which was in before. Modification will add on cost because you're enhancing its functional aspects, you're not reducing its functional aspects. And as the price level will be high little bit, and it also shows what could be the hike in the price. And anything data which is needed, whether it has to be imported either from ERP or CRM, that also will be and one of the output clause for product configuration. Customer resource management. Okay, so these are all again an in-depth wide area related to management subjects, so it is not much associated in your PLM, so you can just mention right away as ERP or CRM. So this is about product configuration. So next we are left out with material master data, service master data. So this I will do it in the next class. A few things are there, I can wind it up also. Okay, so let us just cover what do you mean by material master data. So once you know what you mean by product configuration, material master data is one or the same. So you can define this as it contains a description of all the materials that an enterprise procures, produce and keeps in stock. So a company could be in from a very long time, from a span of 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. It could manufacture like around 10 products already. So this material master data helps to store the description of all the materials procured from that particular company from past 10 years or 15 years or whatever, what all details they have procured, what all products they have procured, and what all materials are in stock. Every data will be stored in material master data. So you can call these as central repository of information on materials. And it also contains a description related to n number of varieties of data elements what you have, because every product will be having different data elements. So it could include the part number, which parts are manufactured, the description of the parts which are manufactured, the technical specifications of the parts which are manufactured, and which are the stocking codes used for different parts which are manufactured by different part elements. So entire data related to all these will be stored in central repository, similar to that of your project reports, which will be stored in central repository of the VTU, right? Similarly, this is about the material, the product which has been manufactured will be stored. So material master is considered as the core functionality for any ERP system, which is used in distribution or manufacturing type functions. So this material master data will always play a vital role in an ERP system because it helps in distributing or manufacturing the type of functions which are associated before. So they can access the data related to which are the products manufactured, where it was distributed, how it was manufactured, which type of operations were performed. All those things will be helpful in an ERP system. So lastly, the integration of all the material data in a single material database eliminates the problem of data redundancy. Sometimes when you operate to manufacture a product, there will be a redundancy in the data, means insufficient data, or lack of data. So if you have this type of respiratory, so there will be no lack of data which has been needed to manufacture the product, because you'll be having the entire storage or the stock related to the materials which has been procured until now, the products which are manufactured until now. So material master data plays a vital role in each and every product which has to be manufactured. It could be a simple product, it could be a complex one, it could be modifying an existing product, and even to develop a new product virtually or in actual, material master data plays an vital role. So this thing you have to understand. So for time being, I'll stop here. So now you're free to speak if you have any doubts. If anyone have not written the name in the chat room, kindly type it out. I will take the screenshot. And many people have not submitted the assignments, kindly do type and submit. People were telling they don't have A4 sheet, yeah, some blue books with them. If you don't have shortage of books and pages, you can type directly and submit. And the hard copy you have to submit once the college gets open. So until then, please safeguard your soft copies, because you have to finally submit the hard copy of it also. So now you can speak out if you have any doubts. I'm taking screenshot. Please type your USN number if you haven't done. Any doubts you have? All of you have written your USN number. Arun, you have raised your hand. Yeah, please tell me.
Ma'am, in syllabus there's a topic called product data technology.
Uh-huh.
So is it related to data models or something different, ma'am?
Product data technology, where it is? Just wait, I will just I'll just open the syllabus. Yeah, I'll just share you the syllabus. Just a second. Yeah, you tell me now. Can you see the syllabus?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so tell me the question right now.
Ma'am, in module 5 there is a topic called product data technology.
Right.
So is it related to data models or something different, ma'am?
No, see here, so this is a part with product building and structures. So we study the development tools associated with it, what is digital mockup, model building, analysis, process planning also we dealt. Then we have the product data technology. So this product data technology is the techniques which are being used in developing an product. So that we dealt related to product development tools and methodologies. Okay, so these are the product data technologies what we are following. I explained you the methodologies of product development tools, right? So these are the techniques which are being followed that you have to explain it exactly. And if I get any more information related to product data technology, I will share, because currently even the actual books related to our syllabus is not there in the library. I could just find a e-book on the first main reference, so that won't speak about much information related to. But when I access to some other e-books, so these are the things which are being given. Basically, these are the product data technologies related to the virtual environment. Here we are speaking building the product and structures in virtual way, not in actual, and then converting into an actual manufacturing part. So we use n number of tools, methodologies and techniques. So virtual reality technique what we use is a technology which is embedded with the product development, and hence this is the product data technology what you have to explain. So that is being shown in our PPT previously, but still if you need any much more information in depth, I will go through that and I will share you the materials. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it, ma'am.
Okay. All of you please type your name, USN number if anyone have not written. So after completion of this module, we are left out with some few concepts. So after this, I will share you the assignment number 5 and one case study. So you have to write the description for the given assignment and submit it without fail. Hopefully, we are waiting for successful opening of the college at the earliest. Let us see how it works out. Or else, after the completion of the fifth module, you are supposed to take quizzes related right away from module 2, 3, 4 and 5, what we covered in online. Okay, so we'll see how well it proceeds. Keep updated, keep on studying, don't waste your time. Okay, because once the quiz is been announced, you should be able to answer it successfully, right? So be reading it. Don't tell that you haven't read until now. The syllabus is almost coming to the end related to my subject, so I will revise also once, right? So after college gets commenced, if anything in actual you're in need, I can just explain it to you again. Okay, so until then, take care, bye bye. If anyone haven't written the names, kindly do type it away. All have written. If so, then thank you, take care, bye bye.